Welcome to ModMen, where voiding your warranty is our business.
Welcome to episode 3 of the ModMen Show. I'm your host, Bill Owen. In this episode, we're going to have our first supply drop from Mushkin Enhanced. Then we're going over to Brad's to paint the acrylic pieces that we've milled for the ModMen PC, and I'll start pre-fitting everything together. But first, I'm going to show you how you can paint your case and give it a professional looking paint finish without the need of professional equipment or special prep work. And this technique will apply to either steel or aluminum cases, and it's very easy to follow yourself. This particular case that we're painting is the Fractal Design Array R2 NAS case. You can see it's got the brushed aluminum factory finish on it. Now I have to be careful because my painting mentor, Brad, is observing the whole time. Although he graduated from rattle cans many years ago.
Never used them.
That's a lie. Now here are the supplies that you'll need for this guide. First, start off with safety. You want a filtered ventilator mask. Then we're going to be using some masking tape to mask off the back side of the panel so there's no overspray. The sandpaper we'll be using is 400 grit. And to speed up things, get a 400 grit or medium grit sandpaper attachment for something like a mouse sander so you don't have to do the whole thing entirely by hand. Then you want a tack cloth to clean up all the debris caused by the sandpaper before you apply the first application of paint. The first application of paint is SEM brand self-etching primer, but you can use any other type of automotive self-etching primer. And this has an hour cure time. And in between that time, you can use this product or something similar while you're waiting. Next, we're going to move on to our color coat. And for this project, I picked a Metal Flake Blue. And this is by Plastic Coat. And this is a lacquer-based paint. It's a metallic paint, and whenever you use a metallic paint, you always want to use a clear coat over it. Now the reason why you sand the surface is that you're creating a bit of bite on the surface so the paint adheres even better. The mouse sander definitely makes it a lot easier, but in some of the nooks and crannies, you're still going to want to sand by hand. There's areas here that I couldn't get in with the mouse sander. All the dust that we've created on the surface, we want to clean off with our tack cloth. We're taping off the inside of the case because of overspray. We don't have, while we're painting it, we don't want to get any overspray inside here. I want to keep the inside portion original. Our first application is the self-etching primer. Wear the mask, work in a well-ventilated area. This stuff is toxic, it's bad to breathe in. When using the self-etching primer, you want to spray 2 to 3 light coats 6 to 8 inches away from the object. Our self-etching primer coat has cured for an hour. Now we can move on to applying the first color coat. You want to apply 3 to 4 coats and let this cure for about an hour. After you've gone this way, you're going to want to cross hatch back over again as you apply the coats. That way you prevent these stripes in here. We've let the color coat cure for an hour. Now we're ready to do the final clear coat application. Again, you want to do light coats of this, maybe 3 to 4, and then let that cure. I'd say let the final coat cure for at least 24 hours before you handle it. It's been 7 days that we've allowed our spray paint to cure on the case, and the case is now reassembled. And take a look at it. It really looks nice. The cool thing about this paint is that when you look at it from different angles, it looks sort of like a teal, dark blue, or a cobalt blue. And you can really shine it up, but you want to wait till after 30 days before you apply an automotive wax to it so the paint has fully cured. I hope it's inspired you to try spray painting some of your own stuff and experiment, have fun. Just make sure you do it in a well-ventilated area with the right type of filtered mask, because safety first whenever modding. We have another hardware supply drop for the ModMen PC build. This time it's Mushkin Enhanced products, and we're starting with their radioactive memory. Check out this case that it comes in. This is so cool. It's like a James Bond secret agent style case. Ooh, you have the radioactive memory, Bond. Hand it over. Check it out. It is DDR3 1600. They've given us two 2 gigabyte sticks. This is rated at 1.65 volts, and it has what they call the Frostbite heat spreader on it for cooling. The best thing about this memory is that it has a lifetime warranty. Mushkin, we love your products, and we're happy to have you involved with the ModMen PC build. Go to mushkin.com and check out their other stuff. We've got the main portions of the build for the ModMen PC finished, and that is the acrylic, and here you can see it here. Now it's got a different look. It's frosted acrylic now instead of clear acrylic, and the reason being is that I'm sanding it all. What I'm doing is medium grit sandpaper, just going over the cast acrylic so I can create an adhesion coat, because we're going to go over to Brad's next, and he's going to paint it for us. Now Brad, silver metallic.
Yes.
Any suggestions? What do you got for colors on hand right now?
I have a House of Color, Orion Silver base coat, and a Silver Frost from Ford.
Say go with that one. It's a no-brainer. This one. Let me ask you this. For somebody who's watching and they're going to paint cast acrylic,
Yep.
what advice would you give them?
Don't do it. No. use like a 400 grit or a 600 grit sandpaper, or a, why don't you hand me that red Scotch-Brite pad, and simply just scuff it till it's dull, like what you got here, where it's dull. You don't want to see any shiny spots, and wipe it down with like an alcohol or a soapy water to get some of the mold and wax and grease off of it. Hit it with you can either hit it with an adhesion promoter, which would help. That's what we're going to do today. And then hit it with like an etch primer, because that'll help with adhesion too. Makes paint stick. Just follow the directions. You put a dusting on it and then wait 3 minutes. Just a dusting. That's all it calls for. You wait the allotted time, come back, put a second coat on, and then wait 10 minutes, then paint away.
All right, we've got the custom painted parts back from Brad. They look great. I'm glad we chose this combination of silver metal flake. Now what I'm doing today is pre-fitting everything together to make sure that we didn't miss any details along the way, whether it be us or Cheaps when he did the original design. I mean, he could have missed a mounting hole, or things didn't get routed properly for space. So I just pre-fit everything together now, so the final assembly goes as smooth as possible. For example, I noticed that in the main body, some of the holes didn't get tapped for 632 screws, so I've got the manual tap here and I've gone over that. I'm most concerned about the water-cooled tubing being routed through everything, because it is quite cramped inside the structure, and then having enough room for the power supply wires and cables to be hidden properly. This is the side of the PC that's going to hold our motherboard, and these are the standoffs that we made for the little Zotac ITX motherboard, milled from aluminum. Just out of respect to our sponsor Zotac, when the motherboard's mounted, we're going to flip their label so you can actually read it the right way. The radiator we chose is a Hardware Labs Black Ice GT Stealth Gen 2. I like these because they're thin than most radiators, so it allows you more space to work with. Now, how this goes into the structure is in a sequence like that, or you can come up from the bottom. That's one of the things I noticed with Cheaps designs, is that they kind of go together like a jigsaw puzzle. So doing this pre-fitting, I use the opportunity to step into Cheaps' mind, which is a scary place, and see what he had in mind when he designed this. Yep, that's how that's going to go together. I know he's probably watching this right now and going, I thought I told you flathead tapered screws, not the socket head screws. Well, I don't have them yet. They're not here yet.
We all know Bill likes his socket cap screws, but that's because he's got millions of them laying around and he loves them. For this project, we're doing flathead stainless steel screws. That was me. I told him to do that. I'm going to be very evil though, because all the ones I'm sending him are going to be sanded down and polished. And he'll probably have to do that to all of his just to match up.
and we are making a Modman radiator grill that will go right here. Now, what I don't like about it, and I kind of predicted this early on, is I don't like seeing through here because the tubing and the wires will be in here and I don't want to see that. So what I'm going to do is, instead of painting the UV green, I'm going to apply a brushed chrome vinyl film over just this side of the piece to hide everything in here, and I think that will look good. I like the fact that I don't see through to that green anymore, and the brushed aluminum actually looks really good, accenting the top cover, the optical drive, and the silver metal flake paint. Mushkin Enhanced also sent us their Callisto Deluxe solid state drive. Ooh, let's take a closer look. I really like Mushkin's packaging. They put a lot of thought into it. It's very nice. What's this? It's a 3.5 inch to 2.5 inch bay adapter for the drive. We won't need this. Here it is, the 60 gigabyte Callisto Deluxe. It has a read speed of 280 megabyte, write speed of 270 megabyte per second. It's a SATA 2 connection, and it's also designed to be shock resistant. If you've ever seen the Corvette ZR1 PC that I built and I drive around the parking lot, after that I bring it back in and boot it up just fine. I had the same solid state drive in it. These are just awesome drives, and they come with a 3-year warranty. And we'd just like to say thank you, Mushkin, for sponsoring this Modman PC build and being a part of our webisode series. You know, a lot of times when I'm working on projects and I need to power cooling fans or lighting just to test it, and I don't have a system available to patch into for power, what I've done is hotwire a power supply and I leave it right at my workbench, so I've got that power accessible very easily. And you can see right now I've got it hooked up to a cooling fan. Now this is a very easy thing to do. All you need is a paper clip and a needle nose pliers. You want to cut off the narrow end of the clip. So you've got this smaller piece here. Now, before you insert this into the 24-pin connector, you want to have the power supply unplugged. Now, this is a 24-pin motherboard connection. Now, when you have it turned this way, if the clip upward, look for the green wire, which is the 4th wire from the side. And there's a black wire right next to it. It's the only green wire you're going to see in there. If you don't see a green wire, then you're looking at a Dell power supply, or it's not a 24-pin power supply. Then what you're going to do is you're going to insert paper clip end in there. Just like that. You always want to have the power supply under load before you turn it on. What we have here is a 250 millimeter cooling fan and a 750 watt NZXT power supply they sent us. There you have it. That thing has been on there forever. I mean, if you're going to have a PC on your window, you might as well use it. The next episode of Modman, we're going to start focusing on water cooling the Modman PC build. We're also getting a video card from our sponsor Zotac to water cool as well. We're going to make a custom CPU water block top, and reservoir with help from Cheapskate. And then Brad's going to show you how he does the cool Von Dutch style pinstriping on the case I just painted with rattle cans. There'll be more tips, an update on the Tape of the Gods segment. So until then, I'm your host Bill Owen, and this is Modman. We are at Brad's Shanty Shack of custom colors, where all the magic happens. Professional modding at work here. In our next episode, we'll be focusing on the Modman PC and water cooling everything. We're getting, it's too loud, isn't it? Yeah. But he doesn't have his mask on. Don't show him.
Neither do you.